Is there anything better than a warm, flaky croissant? Imagine the smell of butter in the oven, the golden crust, the melt-in-your-mouth texture. It's pure heaven. Many think croissants are too fussy to make at home. But trust me, with a little patience and this guide, you'll be surprised how easy it is. Let's get started. Before we begin, let's gather our ingredients. You probably have most of these in your pantry already. We'll need 1 cup warm milk, around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 1/4 teaspoons active dry yeast, 1/3 cup granulated sugar, 4 cups all-purpose flour, plus more for dusting, 1 teaspoon salt, and 1 cup or 2 sticks unsalted butter, very cold. First, we'll wake up the yeast. Yeast is a living organism, and it needs to be activated before it can do its job in the dough. This process is called proofing. By adding yeast to a warm liquid, we give it the perfect environment to start growing and multiplying. In a large bowl, combine the warm milk, yeast, and sugar. The warm milk provides the right temperature for the yeast to activate, while the sugar acts as food for the yeast, helping it to grow and produce carbon dioxide. Let it sit for about 5 minutes until foamy. This foamy texture indicates that the yeast is active and ready to work its magic in the dough. If the mixture doesn't foam, it might mean the yeast is old or the milk was too hot or too cold. This means the yeast is alive and kicking. It's a good sign that your dough will rise well and have a nice airy texture. Next, add the flour and salt. Flour provides the structure for the dough, while salt adds flavor and helps control the yeast's activity, ensuring the dough doesn't rise too quickly. Mix until it forms a rough dough. Don't overwork it. Overmixing can develop too much gluten, making the dough tough and difficult to work with. Now turn the dough out onto a lightly floured surface. This helps prevent the dough from sticking and makes it easier to knead. Knead for about 5 minutes until smooth and elastic. Kneading develops the gluten in the dough, giving it the strength and elasticity it needs to rise properly. Shape it into a ball, place it in a greased bowl, and cover it with plastic wrap. The greased bowl prevents the dough from sticking as it rises, and the plastic wrap keeps it from drying out. Let it rise in a warm place for about an hour, or until doubled in size. This rising time allows the yeast to produce carbon dioxide, which makes the dough expand and become light and airy. A warm spot, like near a window or on top of a warm oven, is ideal for butter from leaking out during the rolling process. A good seal is essential to keep the butter contained within the dough. which will expand and separate during baking. This is called a turn. Each turn and chilling 2 more times. Each repetition adds more layers, enhancing the flakiness of the final product. But the end result is well worth the effort. After the final chill, the dough is now ready for the next crucial steps in our pastry-making journey. This is where patience and precision come together to create the perfect croissant. Roll out the dough into a large rectangle about 1/4 inch thick. This step is essential to ensure that the layers of butter and dough are evenly distributed, which will result in a flaky and tender croissant. Take your time to roll it out evenly, applying gentle pressure with your rolling pin. Next, cut the dough into long triangles. The size of these triangles will determine the size of your croissants. Aim for a base of about 4 inches and a height of 8 inches. This shape will help you achieve the classic croissant look with a nice, even bake. Now, starting at the wide end, roll each triangle up towards the point. Be sure to roll them tightly but not too tight, as you want to allow room for the dough to expand and create those beautiful layers. This rolling technique is what gives croissants their signature crescent shape. Place the croissants on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. This will prevent them from sticking and make for easy cleanup. Arrange them with enough space in between, as they will expand during the rising and baking process. Cover them loosely with plastic wrap and let them rise for about 1 to 2 hours or until puffy. This final rise is crucial as it allows the yeast to work its magic, creating a light and airy texture inside the croissants. Patience is key here. Rushing this step can result in dense pastries. Once they have risen, they are ready to be baked to golden perfection. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Brush the croissants with an egg wash for a beautiful golden shine. Bake for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until golden brown and cooked through. The aroma will fill your kitchen. Let the croissants cool slightly before serving. The first bite is pure bliss. The crust crackles delicately, giving way to soft, airy layers. The buttery aroma fills the air and the taste is simply divine. It's a moment of pure culinary joy. Make sure your yeast is active. If the mixture doesn't foam, your yeast might be old. Keep everything cold. Cold butter is essential for flaky layers. Don't overwork the dough. Too much kneading can make the croissants tough. Be patient with the proofing process. It's worth the wait. Baking croissants is a labor of love, but the rewards are well worth it. Share these golden treasures with your loved ones and savor the moment. Enjoy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more delicious recipes.